Oh, that music. So relaxing. The rainfall. CA, where's the soundtrack? This is like something to help me fall asleep every night. You could run the Three Kingdoms ASMR or something on the Twitch. YouTube, what the crap is going on? Heir of Carthage back in Total War Three Kingdoms. Hey, sorry the content's been a little light the last couple days. Number one, Father's Day was coming, and yes, my kids are important to me. I know, it's hard to believe. But I had to do that. Spend some time. Had to do that. It was a pleasure to spend time with them on Father's Day. My boys made me a card. It was great. And then I had to get on an airplane about midday on Sunday, which was Father's Day, and I had to fly out for work because I have some stuff to do. I'm actually out in Arizona, so I'm recording this in the hotel. It may look slightly different, sound slightly different. I have worked hard to keep the quality where it is quite good, and I think we've got that for you. But laptops are not dead silent. The air conditioner in the hotel is not dead silent. But like I said, I think I've done well to try and balance it out. So yes, be patient. I am going to be making a lot of content this week, but got to deal with being on the road. Let's keep things moving here. I'm going to move back into my own territory, and we need to... I took too many losses in this battle.
Impossible.
With Yuan Yao here. And this was Yuan Shu. We took him out. Jump. So we were doing quite well. But we've, taken too many losses now. One of the things I'm going to have to be better at in a legendary campaign is more decisive victories. And that's something that's just going to have to come with practice. I could lose this campaign by not taking a decisive victory where I should. So I'm going to watch that. I'm going to try and do better. So let me respond to a few of the comments from the last episode. Without calling out specific ones, quite a few people commented trying to teach me something about the UI in diplomacy, where I was confused when we were seeing people propose a deal to invite people into our coalition. There was the little box I was seeing that says opinion of this. And I think that people were pointing out to me that was the opinion of my faction. I don't believe it was necessarily relating to someone else's. Like this comment says, hang on. Okay, here it is. Zaven says, the opinion on this idea is the translation of the relations of those two factions. If Yuan Shao doesn't like the faction applying for the coalition, this will be negative. This can also be positive if he likes them. Why they didn't just name it faction relations and went with opinion on this idea will forever be shrouded in mystery. So that was Zaven's take on it. A couple other people had opinions on it, and then a few people didn't like my gripe with the -10 public order event. Hang on. A few people disagree with me on it, but here was one who agreed. So this was Sam Drew says, that -10 public order event's a good representation of one gripe I do have with the game, and I think I will jump in and agree with him. My gripes with this game are few. The major one is the state of the multiplayer in it right now, but it's not game killing for me. The campaign in this game is very good, and it's overall a solid game. Anyway, let's continue with this. He says, in Rome 2 you at least got some choice, and it would make you think about you could roleplay it. And you get a little bit of that sometimes in Warhammer 2, where you're asked to pick different things and it has different outcomes. And I agree here that they need to do that. And he gives an example. He says, for example, the -10 public order event, toughing it out gives you positive public order and you lose supplies. Or the opposite decision, you get minus public order and then supplies. Like giving you an option on how to choose on something like that instead of just, hey, by the way, we randomly nerfed you. It's kind of weird. But again, there were differing opinions on that. I'd love for y'all to continue to throw your opinion in. CA's obviously listening. They're putting out patches, and in the patches, like for instance, they changed the flogging event to where it only applies to a general who has that harsh trait, or I don't remember the exact name of the trait, but it was a trait that means if your characters pick that up, then he might flog the troops. Perfect. Thank you. So that one's just not like a negative on the player for no reason. So again, I think it's great. Let's talk through the feedback on here. The comments will help with that, and who knows, you know, what CA is looking at and listening to. One comment I got from Chris C, this is a good one, he says, "Stop complaining about being surprise attacked and have more than one army on the field like a normal people." Alright, you have a fair point. I want more than one army on the field. Here is my income right now. I only make 1,250 net per turn. 368 of that is from diplomacy, and meaning that they're going to run out at some point, which means that I really have about 900-ish income to play with for a new army. That is going to be a very small army and incapable of facing one of these AI stacks that has 3 commanders in it. Small stacks where captains with a lot of peasants have a huge difficulty dealing with enemy commander units because they are so powerful in romance mode. So I could have 2 armies. Those 2 armies would both be trash. I would have to get rid of some of these nicer troops and go with 2 large trash stacks, which I can do. The cavalry upkeep is absurd for what I have here. And you all tell me what you think. I'd love to hear some thoughts on this. I could do that. I could have a couple of peasant stacks with very little good cavalry. That cavalry is also like a train in battle. It's just running over the enemy troops and giving me a decisive advantage in battle, because remember, this is legendary difficulty. The AI is going to get all kinds of buffs, not limited to, but importantly, with leadership. This cavalry gives me the ability to break the leadership of a superior enemy army, because the AI is going to get a bunch of cheats because of the level of difficulty. So I get your point, Chris, saying that I need more than one army. I won't stop complaining about, I don't know if I called it a surprise attack. I won't stop complaining about the AI waiting until I walk away to come into my lands, because I hate that. I don't like it. So it doesn't matter whether I have 1 army or 2. It annoys me because that's the way the AI behaves. They're very opportunistic that way, and they know that it provides them nothing strategically, but that's the way they fight, rather than just coming in and fighting me. If you come decisively defeat my army, then the campaign is over. And that's the way I want the AI to behave. So no, I won't stop complaining about it to that regard. However, I do get your point. I could have 2 armies. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts on whether that's what I should do, or if you like the way that I'm running the 1 army here for the reasons that I stated, or other reasons if you disagree with me. So, would love to hear it. Also, apparently, people really want me to say what the crap's going on. There's lots of thumbs up, and then there's the occasional massive insult for me saying it, but it appears that people like it. I just wanted to try something different, and so I did for a while. But if you guys like it, consider it back. Okay, I think that'll do it for comments on this one. I covered quite a few and probably talked for too long. We need to take a look here. The reason why we're getting this is Lady Beyond has low satisfaction. There's not a, I mean, I could promote her and pay her more, but I just don't feel like doing that right now. She can be dissatisfied. When I raise another army, I can put her in the army and put her to use. We have Cao Cao here, which is the leader of our faction. He has a skill point. Okay, had to turn off the advisor. Let's go back to this Cao Cao. Now, some people are getting, they say it like, they write it out like I'm pronouncing it S-O-W, and it's probably what it does sound like. It has a T in it. I know that the T, or it doesn't have a T literally in it, but it has like a T, S-A-O kind of sound, the Cao Cao. I can't say that way all the time. It doesn't work because my language, I don't use that. I'm gonna say Cao Cao. I can call him Cao Cao if you really want me to trigger you. But yeah, I'm doing my best. I am kind of saying the T. It doesn't come out the way I say it, and I don't want to spend days and days practicing Chinese language that I will fail to master regardless. In any case, I want this Imperious Presence. Should be nice to help decrease the cooldown time of abilities. And if you look at it here, it says -5 second decrease. The effect range is infinite, so that's map wide. It has a 1 second duration, and it cools down every 4 seconds. That's a lot, so this is going to cool down 5 every 5 seconds. That didn't look very good outright. Someone pointed it out to me in the comments, and I'm like, oh man, they're right, and that makes that a very, very nice ability to have. So thank you for pointing that out. Much appreciated. We need to end a turn. There's nothing we can do in our single commandery right now in terms of buildings. So let us end a turn.
We would be no threat to you.
Kong Rong. He wants a non-aggression pact. He's allied with Han Fu, trading with Liu Bei and Gongsun Zan. Non-aggression pact. How does he feel towards Yuan Shao, I wonder? We'll take it. I definitely don't want to war with him right now.
As the river.
I really want to be able to focus west on Yuan. I'm going to get back into my settlement so I can replenish more quickly. We've really got to focus on population growth and some of the other things that will help us replenish more quickly as well. I believe there's abilities that help with it, and there's probably retinue, or sorry, followers and accessories that help with it as well, if any of them are available, which none are at the moment. Now this is pretty nice here, Art of War. Hollow square and wedge formation. Essence of Sun Tzu. I'm gonna equip that.
My lord, how can I serve?
You can serve however I say. Shaiho Yuan. And let's see. I know this doesn't apply faction wide. I'm just gonna put it on him temporarily. I need something to put on him. We don't have any more character traits. Again, we're just replenishing. I would love to get to the point where this replenishment's not going to take as long. Look at this.
We would be no threat to you.
Liu Dai wants a non-aggression pact. He's our trade partner. Probably makes sense that we have a non-aggression pact, and he's willing to pay me for it.
Our talks flow as smoothly.
I don't want to make non-aggression pacts with everybody to where I can't move around, though. But I think Liu Dai is a relatively small... Yeah, he's a relatively small force here to my north. He resettled Luo Yang. This is very odd.
I refuse.
The way that they've moved in like this.
I return. Summon my advisors.
I'm not gonna have a great chance of success here, but I am gonna lay an ambush.
March.
In fact, I'm gonna move right here, and I'm gonna lay an ambush. And my objective here, if I successfully ambush, then great, because the AI loves to attack these unguarded settlements.
Empathy with our own hopes.
And if I fail to ambush and he moves in to attack Chen Farmland anyway, I'm within reinforcement range. Of course, you may not be able to reinforce if they successfully avoid your ambush. I'm not 100% certain on that. But that's the goal that I'm attempting to accomplish there. Let's take a look at these reforms. Seasonal retinue, minus 20% redeployment cost. That could come in handy eventually. I'd love to unlock some more of these units. I don't have the right building for private tutors. Having the archers would certainly be helpful. And then eventually getting the crossbows. I do need a strategist type, I believe, to recruit the crossbows. I just hate having a strategist type in my army because they're so awful in combat. Like, really awful. And if you forget them for a second and the AI gets a hold of them, they're dead. But having artillery and the crossbows would be very nice. Ah, this is why they were venturing in. They had reinforcements. And they did avoid my trap, but I've got both of them very nearby. Unless they both managed to cross the river. Cao Cao wants my wooden dog in order for a non-aggression pact. I really don't like these guys because they killed my father. can't fight with them right now. Maybe we pull them in. We give them the dog they want. We give them the non-aggression pact, but we remember their actions. See, this is beneficial to us as Cao Cao right now. We need their cooperation for the time being. If they have talent, if they provide good things to us, then good. And if not, we deal with them soon enough. I'll accept.
Wisdom met by wisdom.
I liked that wooden dog, though. I liked that wooden dog. No, they're both on this side of the river. These guys are well and truly screwed. If I attack this army, they're in force march, which means they're going to start off tired. However, they might attempt to flee. But this could be a great chance for us to put a crushing blow
For China!
on their forces here. No, they're going to stand and fight. Good. They have large numbers, and it's because this army is full of G militia. We've got to use our cavalry decisively. That's all there is to it here. They've got 2 strategist type generals too, which will easily fall. We do need to be quite careful here because Shaiho Yun is at a pretty good chance of being captured if we lose, or, you know, hurt badly because of the previous battle. So let's keep an eye on him. Be smart. He's got one more turn, I think, before he's fully recovered. So the opportunity for some swift and decisive action here. It's a relatively small force. My character can't even join the fight. I see. I see. He was wounded. I misread that a moment ago. So he's wounded. We've got his retinue here, but he's wounded. It's okay. Obviously, I would rather him be here, but he's not. Let's see here. Oh, whoops. Done screwed that up. Let me reselect my forces here. Alright. Got them all this time. I need loose formation in this army. Okay. I'm gonna push this weaker group. See if we can catch them and inflict severe damage before they're able to garner all their reinforcements. I'm gonna take the Cao Cao in. Got a commander and a sentinel opposing us. See if we can lure these guys out a bit. Here's a good chance for a little double teaming. Engage my melee evasion. We need to get up and get those archers. Ooh, their commander's getting shellacked up here. We're gonna crush their archers.
You are a fool to come back.
Your words are as pathetic as you are!
Oh yeah, their archers there are very, very dead.
Cavalry, mount up!
The enemy unit flees! What cowards!
Move out quickly! Run! Run!
The enemy general is
That
fallen.
was what we
They
needed.
were no match!
Ready to ride? Attend!
Let's take their cavalry out of the picture.
Double time! March at the double! Ready! Hurry! Move!
More squishy targets over here.
Prepare!
We have to be very careful about which direction that G infantry is facing.
Mounted soldiers! Run!
I'm gonna decline because I actually think I'll kill him faster.
Stand ready!
Melee like this.
March at
The enemy
double!
unit flees! What cowards!
Wiped out
Go,
that
go,
cavalry.
go! Run! Run!
Swing around here. Got those two archer units.
Take heed, warriors! To attention! Cavalrymen!
About to chain route everything that's left here.
Cavalry, attack! At the ready!
Take out the general.
The time has come!
Get him, gents.
Feel yourselves!
I demand vengeance! I will crush you for this insult.
Cavalry!
This G infantry isn't braced.
Swords at the ready!
Let's move up our main group.
Unleash fury!
Let's pull these cavalry
The
loose.
enemy warriors are ready! Ha!
Attack! The enemy general
Got him.
falls. Ha!
Got him.
Prepare!
Okay, now let's wheel up my main line. Pull my cavalry back to where we're not archer fodder. Because I think we'll have a skirmish advantage.
Take heed, warriors!
Let's push my leaders forward. Turning my back, though, probably wasn't the most ideal plan there.
Feel yourselves! Locked and ready!
Okay.
Archers!
Alright, I need all my archers engaged. I thought I moved up my entire group. Taking more losses than we should have. Let's get on that commander.
You lack the strength to defeat me!
Not the best
Shut up and
micromanagement on my
die!
part right now. Let's get in there and take out enemy archers. I can now swing this flank. Here's our opening right here. Let's hit that sword unit. Stay on this commander here so we can take him out of the fight. Let's get some reinforcements in there. I gave these... Ah, they're on skirmish. Need to change that default. Let's get through here. Let's crush this sword unit real quick.
Does battle wear you out? Oh, how witty!
Okay, that sword unit got
How
wrecked.
very witty!
Cavalry, to
The
attention!
enemy warriors
Let's
are
pull
ready.
through there.
Ah!
And then let's get the spear guard.
Move!
Can collapse
March
into a
at the
flank.
double! The enemy
I'm
general
gonna change the
falls.
target for my archers to over here.
Horsemen, the time has come. Horses, stand ready.
Show
Rear
no
attack
mercy.
here. Take out the archers. This cavalry went too far.
Feel yourselves.
South, south.
Enduring as the earth.
Unleash fury!
You seem to be struggling. Need some help?
Okay, their archers are wrecked.
I dearly hope your blade is sharper than your wit.
Why, you want my jokes to be
Look,
funnier?
The enemy run! Craven!
Do not
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Unleash fury. Strike.
Okay, crushing defeat here for the enemy. Not a perfect performance by me, but I feel like it was definitely a good victory for us. 2 enemy armies dropping. Let us claim victory. Look at those cavalry kills. I know we're on extreme unit settings, but still, it always looks good. Yeah, they got hurt bad in that battle. Very badly.
It is just as it should be.
Yuan Yao dropped in the battle. We captured a character. I do need a strategist. He doesn't have any rivals. Formidable. Commends physical strength. Commends physical ability. Supports war. Stern. Okay, I have to make apologies. Where we defeated Yuan Yao, shortly thereafterwards, the new successor to the faction requested peace and was willing to pay a huge amount of money per turn. It was over 1,000 gold per turn. Rather than attempt to finish them, which I did want to do because I want their land, I made the strategic decision to take the gold. Use the gold to raise a second army. Let me show you what I did. Many things happened. Many things happened, and I apologize that I missed it. However, I still have the save file of a massive battle that was fought at the culmination of this shift in strategy, so you will still get to see the key event. So let me explain how things played out on the map. We defeated Yuan Yao. He was succeeded by Zhu Hyung, and he asked for peace, paying me a considerable small fortune. I think we should be able to see it if we get into diplomacy. I see I still have 3 more turns of 1,021. I used that funding to do a couple of things. I pulled Shaiho Duan out of my army, gave him his own, put Lady Bian into an army. They have a small army with no archers, but a decent cavalry force along with it, albeit a relatively cheap force that I can afford because of that payment that I received. Then I bring in our captured strategist, Ping Ji, and I've now got a trebuchet, 3 crossbows, and a couple of archer militia, and Shai Ho Yun is now commanding a lot of infantry, and I've still got my amazing heavy cavalry contingent with Cao Cao. So, that said, He Yi didn't declare war on me, but he was at war with Yuan Shao. He was pulled into it by his friend up here, Huang Shao. So, He Yi marches 2 large armies north into my land, again, not at war with me, just trespassing his way through. As he did this, he fought a large battle with Zhu Huang. He won the battle, pushed them back, but it left his forces standing just north of the Chen farmland here, heavily damaged, about half his strength. And guess who was standing here, having marched back from the war with Zhu Huang? It was Cao Cao. Cao Cao saw the opportunity, he saw the strategy. He Yi was marching north to hurt my allies. So I declared war, intercepted him north of Chen farmland, and destroyed his army entirely. His other force that was with him fled south across the bridge back to Runan. And now I moved my army with Cao Cao, the second army was not present, into Runan, where I didn't realize it, but a gigantic army of 4,000 peasants along with He-Man and 2 other scholars pounced on me with the smaller force that had fled to Runan, and I found myself facing about 5,000 some odd Yellow Turbans and outnumbered, and that's where you're going to see the battle that's about to take place, and let's jump into it. Alright, so here's the setup. This is actually well over 6,000 troops on the part of my enemies. We were attacked by Mu Tingbao, and she was being reinforced by He-Man. Lots of peasants. And so I made the decision that the strategy is going to be for me to take my extremely heavy cavalry contingent and to simply plunge headlong into the Yellow Turbans.
Make haste!
And to simply plunge headlong into the Yellow Turbans. We because I don't think they can stop me. Let's go take a look at their force up here. So there's Mu, Ting Bao leading her force, and here are the Yellow Turbans. Many, many peasants, not well equipped to hold off the powerful, heavy cavalry that Cao Cao has to offer. And also remember that Cao Cao has the special ability to give me a 100% melee evasion buff. So my troops can come into melee and take significantly small damage. The challenge here is the archers. If I turn my back to them to cycle, I take tremendous damage. So I don't intend to turn my back. I intend to plow in headlong, push through these peasant swords, and smash their archers and all these squishy units before their reinforcements can join the battle. You can see the reinforcements moving in from the rear of the battlefield here.
Our hidden men have been seen.
My tiger and leopard cavalry is already under fire. Again, I need to keep my shields facing my enemies to try and minimize the missile casualties here, because we are taking significant fire.
To battle!
So on with the charge. The peasant line wasn't able to hold. They get quickly crunched by Cao Cao and his cavalry, and I immediately turn my attention to the next unit. I'm ignoring the enemy leaders and just absolutely plowing all of their archers. And the kills are quickly mounting for my cavalry units. I've already got 45 kills on Cao Cao, 399, over 400 kills on my tiger and leopard cavalry. The Yellow Turbans are ill-equipped to stop this. The only spears they have are these peasant spearmen. You can imagine they're not going to do much to stop a Jian sword guard cavalry and a couple of tiger and leopard cavalry, one of which is a medium mass unit, not just a light cavalry. So I have relentlessly and ruthlessly attacked Mu Ting Bao's forces and crushed a significant number of the enemy forces that were involved in combat already. It doesn't actually give me numbers here, that's unfortunate. Here's my number of soldiers. You can see it here. Really, CA? We don't have the enemy units? It's a bit frustrating. Oh, there it is. There's the troop count. So out of 7,500 troops, we've beaten down nearly 3,000 of those with our cavalry alone, which now leaves He-Man's reinforcements, which is again a whole bunch more peasants with very little cavalry at their disposal. However, there's a number of very powerful commanders still on the battlefield. So my goal, now that I've crushed the initial enemy force and sent them packing, I'll use my own infantry force to hold the significant force of He-Man, and now my cavalry and leaders can focus down enemy leaders. My cavalry is pouncing on regrouping units, and here we catch Mu Ting Bao, and she's going to get completely overwhelmed
The enemy general falls.
by a lot of heavy cavalry. So this is almost like a goon squad from Warhammer, like a flying goon squad. It's not flying. That's pretty much what I've got going here, and despite the fact that it has taken some damage, this force has just been absolutely devastating. The number of kills on it is just absurdly wonderful, that is. One of my units has over 500 kills. Now the enemy bows are coming into range. I'm going to fall back out of their range. I do have to turn my back to their arrows momentarily, but not for long. And you can see that He-Man is grouping up with another scholar here on this flank. These are the melee-focused units for the Turbans, so I do not wish to duel them at this time. Enemy archers are pulling into range of my own skirmishers, and I'm going to get those skirmishes to start unleashing volleys. And then I'm going to move my infantry forward and prepare for an engagement. It's an engagement that I will likely lose if I just have to fight it endlessly. But my cavalry is going to have to make the difference here. My cavalry is getting held up kind of right now, and this is a misclick here. That's why I hate having these strategists. The strategist is coming up here, and he might very well die because of this misclick. But whatever. I accidentally grouped him with the archers, and he got an attack order here whenever I clicked the order. Now the good thing is he somewhat marvelously creates a wonderful blob for all my archers to fire into. At this point, Fan Wu and another unit here, I used my cavalry to attack them. I now have infantry support, so we were able to cause the enemy to create a significant blob here. There's going to be another big blob here.
Come on.
And then I was able to beat back some peasant spearmen rather quickly. I'm going to swing this G infantry back around. You can see now that my cavalry is already swinging around the enemy right flank. It's my left flank. Though my cavalry are quite tired from the amount of destruction that they've been wreaking since the beginning of this battle. My archers are focused on enemy archers. You can see here, focus firing. There's several of these healers, but they're holding back in a support role, which is not intelligent for them to do at this point. My trebuchet is currently firing here, but I'm about to change its target to something much more relevant. I've got to break the leadership of this blob. I'm going to do it with my heroes and some very, very painful cavalry charges here. These peasant warriors already engaged from the front take immediate, tremendous damage and crippling leadership. And we immediately rout this blob. However, enemy numbers are starting to overwhelm us here. There's one more archer unit shooting me in the back, so I've got it focused, and my trebuchet has now changed a target to this giant blob of infantry, and that should pay dividends over the long run with what it's able to do. So the trebuchet firing. Not particularly accurate, but we're landing a few shots. I need flaming shot for that trebuchet. See here, the enemy archers are going down. My cavalry picked off a sword unit that had just actually broken through my front line. And I'm still ignoring leaders at this point. Fan Wu, He-Man, spending all their efforts on infantry units has been quite fine with me. And now that the enemy archers have been dealt with, what's left of my ammunition is going to be poured into the flank of this Yellow Turban blob. As the AI has blob there. And meanwhile, the Master of the Universe himself is caught. He's going to try and battle his way out of this, but he is in some major trouble against all this cavalry. They'll be dishing some serious damage to him. So the enemy leader is now in big trouble, and he's not going to last much longer. Their healers, again, have kind of refused to engage. I've run out of ammo. My crossbowmen and other units can now be thrown back into combat, as well as some of these regrouped swords. And then I'm going to attack these enemy bowmen with my saber militia momentarily here as well. I think I get a counter order here. Maybe last second. Maybe not. My G infantry has managed to hold over here for a very long time, so that's a testament to their courage. And we've managed to hold up another one of their scholars right here, which is good. The G infantry are quite good at holding those lords. I'm hunting down He-Man with the whole pack here. I could have probably just used Cao Cao. And He-Man goes down, and that's going to hurt the leadership of the enemies a lot. And if we take a look at the balance here, they started with 7,500 troops, and they're now down about 6,000 of those troops. And my cavalry is now returning to finish off this other scholar and the rest of their leaders. My crossbows and other units now have come in. I shouldn't have blobbed, I should have outflanked, but I was leaving the flank of this open for my cavalry to get to. I'm just trying to keep them held in front. Crossbows are not bad in melee. They're not great. They're not going to be terrible. The scholar now is going to take the wrath of all my cavalry. And my cavalry has had some wrath in this battle. He immediately starts to take heavy damage. And if he drops, it's very, very bad for the Yellow Turbans. He's going to flee and continue to take hits here. or want to send this guy to his grave. The healers I'm going to try and pin down with some of my G infantry.
Double time!
Xiahou Yuan
Hurry!
trying to get some hits. Little Cao Cao. Yeah, he's in trouble. He's going to drop at any moment here. Down he goes, and the hopes of his army with him. Calls this a Pyrrhic victory. This is an epic victory. I don't know that I would call it decisive, because I did have to lose a lot of troops, but we were outnumbered hugely in this battle. He-Man's still walking away with 1,500 men because of the way they fled. But they took some major damage. And that brings me back to the situation that you all saw. Like I said, that brings us back to this point. One other major thing that happened was Liu Dai invited Liu Bei into my coalition, and he was accepted. So we now have Liu Bei in our coalition. So if we take a look to the north, I have a very secure border to my north and to my east, which is going to allow me to focus out Heir. So when we pick up the next episode, I've got Xiahou Yuan, who's going to support Cao Cao in pushing forward, sieging and taking Runen. And once we have that, we'll probably look into this faction here.
Come, let us talk.
They don't have any allies, and they're easy pickings with that farmland, and then right next door to them is more Han territory, which we can grab. So I'm going to make a land grab here, and it's going to be to my south. We should be able to grab pretty much the entirety of that province, along with Heir's province. Now, the other piece of Heir's province is the iron mine held by Liu Biao, but he is going to be fairly steadfast towards us for the moment, because I believe he needs our food. So that food production, we used it. We used it strategically to get money to fund an army. If I wouldn't have had the second army, we'd be at a stalemate with these Yellow Turbans who are going to replenish very quickly, but because I have the second army, it won't be a stalemate. We're going to move in and defeat them. I was able to get one turn of replenishment in, and that's still a lot of cavalry that these guys just can't deal with, and guess what? There's even more cavalry on the way. 3 more units. So they're in trouble. They're in real trouble. Then I move to Yangzhou, and we will capture that, again, using the temporary peace with Zhu. And then I have a second army, if necessary, to be able to split my attention and help me overwhelm folks. So we're going to move in. That's where the next piece of the campaign will take place, moving to our south, having secured a coalition in the north. I will see you then. Hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure to leave your comments. If you liked the episode, do me a huge favor. Get up there and hit that like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button, and then go in the comments and tell me what I need to do better. Regardless, I would love for you to go down and comment to tell me what you think. What could I do better? What'd you like? What would you do different? HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you all next time.